Good evening and welcome to the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin for Monday, August 18, 2025. I'm Falwa Neighbors. In the headlines tonight, President Ali announces major financial boost for Guyanese families. Prosthetic limb camp brings new hope to dozens of Guyanese through India-Guyana partnership. Non-U.S. persons risk sanctions for aiding Mohammed's OPAC warrants. Over 700,000 electors expected to vote at 2,790 polling stations. GCOM said it is fully ready for September 1 elections. Guyanese Justice Arif Bokan appointed to the CCJ. President Ali unveils major infrastructure plans, or projects rather, for Tamari, promising jobs and improved services. And meet Arthur Roberts, a true academic powerhouse. Now for the news in depth. At a public meeting hosted by the People's Progressive Party PUP in Lethem, President and PUP presidential candidate Dr. Irfan Ali unveiled a series of major financial measures aimed at enhancing support for families across Guyana. Details in this report.
Among the key announcements was a significant increase in the Because We Care cash grant, which will rise from $55,000 to $100,000. In addition, President Ali introduced a new annual transportation grant value at $100,000. With both initiatives combined, each school-aged child in Guyana will now receive $200,000 annually, a move the president says is part of his administration's ongoing commitment to improving the lives of citizens and investing in the future of the nation's children.
This means that we will be placing in the children pockets of this country $40 billion every single year. That is $30 billion more.
During the public, President Ali also announced an increase in monthly public assistance. This move forms part of a broader package of social support measures aimed at easing the financial burden on vulnerable citizens and improving overall welfare across the country.
Comrades, that is taking our public assistance to $40,000 per person at a minimum. $19 billion more investing in our public assistance program.
Additionally, the president further announced enhanced financial support for Guyana's elderly population as part of a broader social assistance initiative. The old age pension will be increased from $41,000 to a minimum of $60,000 per month. Additionally, pensioners will now receive a $55,000 annually transportation grant. These measures represent a significant investment in senior welfare, with the government allocating an additional $65 billion annually to support the country's pensioners. Adana Doric, Guyana TV9 News.
A groundbreaking health initiative is giving dozens of Guyanese a new lease on life, as individuals who lost their limbs are now walking again thanks to a collaborative prosthetic limb camp supported by the government of India.
The camp, organized by Kalpataru Projects International Limited in partnership with Guyana's Ministry of Health, is offering free prosthetic limbs, commonly known as Jaipur foot, to persons living with disabilities. The project is aimed at restoring mobility, independence, and dignity to recipients. To date, 35 people have already received their prosthetics, with another 50 expected to benefit in the coming weeks. Guyana is the first CARICOM nation to benefit from this humanitarian program, which India hopes to expand throughout the region. Among the recipients is Krishan Prasad, a father of two, who described the program as life-changing, enabling him to return to work and provide for his family.
I was home 4 months along, just waiting for heal. They got through early procedure. Then I come here. Life being better now. You can get for work free. You can do anything by your own.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony has praised the ongoing prosthetic limb initiative as a major step forward in improving access to mobility aids for Guyanese in need. He noted that the partnership with India will significantly reduce the long-standing backlog of patients awaiting prosthetics, a service that has traditionally been costly and difficult to access for many.
So we make some of our own prostheses here, but we can't make them fast enough. And I think this partnership that we'll have now with Jaipur Foot would allow us to be able to reach more people faster so that they'll be able to get their prosthesis. They wouldn't have to wait too long.
Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony also emphasized that the prosthetic limb program aligns with Guyana's wider healthcare strategy. He said the initiative supports the country's long-term goal of expanding rehabilitation services, offering free care to those who need it most, and positioning Guyana as a leading hub for advanced medical treatment within the region. Adan Dorek, Guyana TV9 News.
Guyanese Jurist Justice Arif Volkan has been appointed to the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, by the Regional Judicial and Legal Services Commission. He will fill the vacancy left by Justice Winston Anderson, who became CCJ president in July. Volkan brings extensive regional and international experience, having served as a Court of Appeal judge in Guyana in 2018 and in Belize since 2022. He was also a vice chair of the UN Human Rights Committee from 2019 to 2022 and currently serves as second vice president of the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. The RJLSC said Volkan was selected from 26 applicants across 14 countries after a rigorous process. He will be sworn in October 2025, becoming the third Guyanese appointed to the CCJ bench. More of the news after the break. Stay with us.
We voted red. We voted red.
Guyana is on the rise with the People's Progressive Party Civic, and we must continue with leadership you can trust. So let's join the PPPC's journey to victory for a grand public meeting on Saturday, August 23 at Rumshop Street, Herstelling, East Bank, Demerara, starting at 5:30 p.m. Be there to hear from His Excellency President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali and others. As the most trusted political party, the People's Progressive Party Civic is transforming Guyana for all with progress you can see. So let's join the PPPC's journey to victory for a grand public meeting on Saturday, August 23 at Rumshop Street, Herstelling, East Bank, Demerara, starting at 5:30 p.m. Vote PPPC. Forward together for a better Guyana.
Yo, Ricky, I hear that you can't cheat at elections, boy. Yeah, boy. You can't cheat at elections, and if you try to cheat, you will be caught. When you are caught, you will be prosecuted in court, and if found guilty, you will go to jail and pay a big fine. How will it catch me if I try to cheat? GCOM has put in place several measures to identify persons who would attempt to cheat. As an ordinary voter, the measures that apply to you are ensuring that you cannot impersonate another voter, checking your fingers for the presence of indelible ink, and being scrutinized by the party agents who are stationed at the polling stations. Well, yes, Ricky, you're right, boy. Nobody can cheat.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
I got a real problem, buddy. I want to vote on election day, but I got to work a 12-hour shift every day from Monday to Friday, from 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, boy.
I got the same problem. I registered to vote in Kitty where I live in, and I walk in still up in Linden. And I only get Sunday for go home, and then back again Monday for work.
You know, truly speaking, the hours you work in and the place where you work should not prevent you from voting.
Really? How come?
Listen, the law makes it absolutely clear that employers should give time off to their employees so as to vote. All you have to do is inform your employer that you need time off to exercise your constitutional right to vote.
For real. That's exactly what I can do.
Hey, me too, buddy.
Yeah.
I didn't do that so bad.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy. And more East Coast Demerara, the PPPC's journey to victory is coming your way for a grand public meeting on Monday, August 25 at Robert Square starting at 6 p.m. Be there to hear from PPP General Secretary and Vice President Dr. Bara Jagdeo and others. Guyana is on the rise with the People's Progressive Party Civic, and we must continue with leadership you can trust. As the most trusted political party, the People's Progressive Party Civic is transforming Guyana for all with progress you can see. So let's join the PPPC's journey to victory for a grand public meeting on Monday, August 25 at Robert Square and more, East Coast Demerara, starting at 6 p.m. Vote PPPC. Forward together for a better Guyana.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. GCOC says it is ready and prepared for the conduct of the September 1 general and regional elections. Over 700,000 electors are set to cast their ballots at these upcoming elections. More details in this report. With just 14 days left until the general and regional elections in Guyana, the Guyana Elections Commission GCOM today at a media conference in Georgetown said it is fully prepared for the conduct of the general and regional elections. The discipline services are expected to vote first on Friday, August 22, and according to the Deputy Chief Elections Officer Anil Giddings, 10,481 ballots and as well as the requisite ballot boxes have already been prepared.
We are well poised for the conduct of these elections on Friday. All of the logistical arrangements have been made. At this point in time, there is nothing aside from maybe force majeure that can prevent such conduct.
Giddings said 750,790 electors are expected to cast their ballots at 2,790 polling stations across all the voting districts. 92 non-resident Guyanese from 24 missions are expected to cast their ballots as well. The proxy voting application process was only open for 3 days and ended on August 11, 2025. Returning officers from all districts are currently still certifying and proofing proxy voting applications.
We have received, as of the deadline, 3,972 applications for proxy. I don't know if you wish a breakdown by district.
No, but how many were approved?
All right, so at this point, we don't have the figure of approved because all of these proxies have to undergo a process of investigation to determine whether they're appropriate, and the ROs are doing their work in that regard as we speak, of which once that's finalized, reports will be sent to the CEO, at which point we can report that of this, how many will be approved.
Addressing concerns about the possibility of voting more than once on election day, Nadia Prasad, GCOM Civic and Voter Education Manager, clarified that such an occurrence is impossible and went on to explain the reasons why.
The right index finger is stained with indelible ink. So if that person with a certificate of employment votes at the polling station where he is working, his finger will be stained there. He's not supposed to leave that polling station for any extended period to get him to the other polling station at which he is listed to vote. But I'm suspecting that you're saying that if he does that, what happens? The mere fact that ink will be on that finger is an indication you can't vote here, and that's it.
You're saying the ink cannot be removed?
It cannot be removed that easily and that quickly.
6 political parties are expected to contest the upcoming elections. Though the Elections Commission still has some minor processes to complete, it remains firm that it is ready to conduct the elections. Further, the Commission reminded voters that they can check for their polling station by using its online portal at www.gcom.org.gy. Colin Abrams, TV9 News. A young family of 3 lost their lives Sunday morning in a crash along the Payara Trail, Region 9. Dead are 23-year-old Jack Narayan Stephen, his wife Kiara, 24, and their 2-year-old daughter, Laurel. The family was on a motorcycle when it collided with a minibus around 11:20 a.m. on the Central Lethe Road. Jack Narayan and his daughter died on the spot, while Kiara succumbed to her injuries en route to the hospital. The minibus driver, 34-year-old Darrell Bernard of Katoka Village, has been arrested. Police confirmed that he was not under the influence of alcohol. Investigations are ongoing. President Ali has announced a series of transformative infrastructure projects set to launch in Tumeri, aimed at boosting employment and enhancing public service in the area. Details in this report. During a community engagement in Tumeri North on Sunday, the president revealed plans to open a new hotel and officially commence construction of Terminal 2 at the Chedijagan International Airport. These developments are expected to create hundreds of jobs and significantly improve the region's infrastructure and economic projects.
Later this month, we'll be opening the new hotel at the airport. That hotel would, of course, create hundreds of new jobs. Outside of that new hotel, we have proposals for one main resort in close proximity and another such hotel facility.
As the new infrastructure projects in Tumeri get underway, President Ali also announced that hundreds of job opportunities will be created. To ensure young people are equipped to take advantage of these roles, the president stated that the government will be investing in skills training and capacity building programs tailored to meet the demands of the upcoming developments.
And we're going to give you, these young people, a small stipend whilst we train them, and we'll provide transportation to take them to the training facility so we can train them technically and make them technically ready for these jobs.
These initiatives are part of the government's wider commitment to enhancing the quality of life for residents along the Linden-Suez Dyke Highway. The focus remains on improving access to essential services, including healthcare, education, infrastructure, and employment opportunities as part of a comprehensive strategy to drive community development and economic growth in the region. Colin Abrams, TV9. Tragedy struck at the Rising Sun Turf Club, West Coast Berbice on Sunday when 19-year-old jockey Keshawn Pereira lost his life during the Guyana Cup 2025. Pereira, riding Blinding Light in the 7 furlong race, was thrown off after the horse slipped between the 3rd and 4th furlong poles. As he fell, another horse, American Traveler, ridden by jockey Bharat Ramnarayan, trampled him. The incident left 3 riders down by the 5th furlong pole, and several horses finished the race without jockeys. The event was eventually won by emotional damage. Shaken spectators have since called for a full investigation, with concerns raised about the condition of the track and inadequate lighting. More of the news after the break. Stay with us.
We voted red. We voted red.
Guyana is on the rise with the People's Progressive Party Civic, and we must continue with leadership you can trust. So let's join the PPPC's journey to victory for a grand public meeting on Saturday, August 23 at Rumshop Street, Herstelling, East Bank, Demerara, starting at 5:30 p.m. Be there to hear from His Excellency President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali and others. As the most trusted political party, the People's Progressive Party Civic is transforming Guyana for all with progress you can see. So let's join the PPPC's journey to victory for a grand public meeting on Saturday, August 23 at Rumshop Street, Herstelling, East Bank, Demerara, starting at 5:30 p.m. Vote PPPC Forward together for a better Guyana.
You never vote neither. So you don't know if anybody gonna know which party you vote for.
Not because I never vote. I know that when I vote, nobody can see which party I voting for.
Why should I believe you? You.
Let me help you with something, young man. The young lady is correct. The freedom to vote for a political party of your own choice on election day is yours. Nobody will know which political party you voted for. Once you would have marked your ballot paper and folded it as directed, nobody will see which political party you would have voted for after you would have placed your ballot paper in the ballot box. You're guaranteed that your vote will remain a secret.
Oh, thanks, big man. For sure, I'm gonna vote on election day. Now to feel confident that nobody will know which party I'm going to vote for.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy. How to vote. Having been identified as the voter you claim to be, you will be given a ballot paper that is stamped at the back on the top section as well as the bottom section in your presence. On the ballot paper, provision is made for you to vote twice. Once at the top section where you vote for the general election and once at the bottom section where you vote for the regional election. Look for the name and symbol of the party of your choice in the top section of the ballot paper and mark your X in the empty box next to the party symbol. Then look for the name and symbol of the party of your choice in the bottom section and mark your X in the empty box next to the party's symbol. After you have voted, fold the ballot paper as shown by the election official, dip the first joint of your right index finger in the ink provided, then place the ballot paper in the ballot box. You will then have to peacefully depart the polling station. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy. And more East Coast Demerara, the PPPC's journey to victory is coming your way for a grand public meeting on Monday, August 25 at Robert Square starting at 6 p.m. Be there to hear from PPP General Secretary and Vice President Dr. Bara Jagdeo and others. Guyana is on the rise with the People's Progressive Party Civic, and we must continue with leadership you can trust. As the most trusted political party, the People's Progressive Party Civic is transforming Guyana for all with progress you can see. So let's join the PPPC's journey to victory for a grand public meeting on Monday, August 25 at Robert Square and more, East Coast Demerara, starting at 6 p.m. Vote PPPC. Forward together for a better Guyana.
Welcome back. This is the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. The U.S. Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, OFAC, has stated that it will not instruct banks to engage in activities that would contradict its established policies. In a letter, OFAC also warned that non-U.S. persons could face sanctions if they provide support to the Mohammeds. Details in this report. Local banks had a right to close the accounts of WIN candidates. This is according to a recent letter from OFAC, who clarified that while mere political association with a party does not trigger sanctions, transactions involving the sanctioned individuals do carry risks. Banks, it said, are free to act on their own due diligence. The letter to the party came in response to queries the WIN representatives asked about the need to close the bank accounts of candidates of Azzuddin's party. The letter said, quote, unless exempt or otherwise authorized by a general or specific license from OFAC, transactions with sanctioned persons by U.S. persons are generally prohibited, and non-U.S. persons could face sanctions, risk for certain activities involving sanctioned persons, such as providing material support to them, end of quote. The U.S. agency further stated that the implications of engaging in transactions with a political party led by a sanctioned individual or with its members would depend on whether the sanctioned individual is directly involved in the transaction. The reminder issued in a letter to Mohammed's lawyer comes more than a year after OFAC sanctioned the family over gold smuggling and corruption. Those sanctions led Guyana's government to revoke the Mohammed's business license and banks to close their accounts. Azzuddin has since launched the We Invest in Nationhood political party and is contesting the September 1 elections with his father's backing. However, local and foreign banks have shut the accounts of WIN candidates, citing compliance with international anti-money laundering regulations. Further, Vice President Dr. Bart Jagdeo said there is video evidence of Nazar at the Venezuelan embassy, while Foreign Minister Hugh Todd confirmed the father-son duo applied for visas.
They all know that he did visit the embassy, and they know the purpose of the visit. And so, I am today, you notice they've gone silent.
The controversy comes as Guyana continues its border case with Venezuela at the International Court of Justice. For the Guyana TV9 News, Colin Abrams. A collision on the Linman-Suez Dyke Highway near Lou Creek on Saturday claimed 3 lives and left 1 man hospitalized. Dead are 6-year-old Lorenzo Campbell, 26-year-old Sherry Joseph, and 25-year-old Keward Wells, all of Hyde Park, to Mary. They were passengers in a car driven by 26-year-old Myro Campbell, who remains in hospital with serious injuries. Police said the car slammed into the rear of a stationary lorry carrying wood after its tire blew out. The truck had no reflectors, and the driver was later found to be unlicensed. Investigations are continuing. From placing second nationally at the Grade 6 assessment in 2018 to excelling at CSEC and topping the CATE exams for the past 2 years, Arthur Roberts has shown nothing but brilliance and consistency. A role model for young people everywhere. He continues to prove that dedication and hard work leads to excellence. Guyana's TV9's Donna Dorick sat down with this academic powerhouse on Monday. Here's more.
In an exclusive interview with Guy TV9 on Monday, Robert shared that his success wasn't his alone, but rather a community effort.
Our journey has been assisted not only again by my family, but as I entered Queen's College, I felt as if I had joined a new family, because the alumni there, the teachers, the staff, even random people that would come around and assist us, it is crazy how much love we're shown, how much assistance we're given, how much we're guided, and how much we are pulled up when we are doing wrong. So I think that was another big part of why I'm here today.
That was Arthur Roberts speaking in an exclusive interview with Guyana TV9 News, a consistent high achiever at every level of his school tenure. Roberts revealed the philosophy that has guided him from primary school days. He explained that success is not just about desire, but about complete immersion and dedication.
By wanting it. You can't simply say you want it and you will have it. It's something that you have to put yourself into. It's something you have to immerse yourself in. it's something you have to dedicate yourself to if you want to achieve your goals. Further, I'd like to advise everyone to keep their minds controlled, in the sense of you are the controller of what thoughts you have. A lot of people may come to you and say that certain things are difficult, and you shouldn't do this because everyone feels this subject, or you shouldn't do this because no one can achieve, or nothing good could come of this village. But I want you to say, no matter what anyone says to you, you are the person who controls what thoughts enter your mind and what thoughts stay in your mind. Please do not allow anyone to discourage you from being able to achieve your dreams. Nonetheless, when you have your dreams, you have to work for it. Discipline, and as I mentioned, consistency is a big part.
Recalling his most recent feat at Cape, securing 13 subjects, 9 grade 1s and 4 grade 2s, the young man admitted that the journey was a bit intense and required him finding that delicate balance between work and play. However, he was not surprised at his outstanding results. Roberts, who grew up in Port Ryan in Region 3, recalled his childhood being one that was amazing, being surrounded by family members and friends.
My childhood was amazing. I think that's the one word for summary, but I spent my childhood around the majority of not only family members, but primarily my cousins, so I always had company. But it was also extremely educational, I would say, because of the school I was attending, because at that time, throughout both nursery and primary school, I attended New Guyana School. It was a great foundation for my education. It has taught me things that I still apply to my life from this point, and I think I will continue to apply them as I continue my not only education, but as I venture into my career.
Arthur, the eldest of two, is still undecided about his long-term career path, but now that his secondary school days are over, he is considering teaching for a year.
I don't put my finger on a specific degree as yet, but I will ensure to continue this streak and do my best to achieve something in tertiary education. However, I won't be doing that for the next year, as I tend to take a short break just to position myself and to put my applications out there so I can get out there.
But like immediately now, what are you going to do?
Immediately now, I tried to keep it under wraps, but the Honorable Minister of Education, Ms. Karim Khalid, did announce on her social media platforms that I will be teaching for the year. Though nothing is confirmed as yet, I do intend to take my services back to Prince College to teach for the year.
Roberts had this advice for parents.
So parents, if you can, not blindly, not simply saying no matter what they're doing, but please give your support to your children, because without your support, we're nothing. We need you.
Adan Doric, Guyana TV9 News.
For an in-depth interview with this young academic powerhouse, join Adonna Doric on Wednesday morning on Guyana TV9 on Facebook and television. That's all for tonight's newscast. I'm Calvin Abrams. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.